Situation here has rattled me.
Why has it rattled you?
I didn't think they were like that. Must be much deeper than that. It has to be deeper than that.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys about Tyler and Kaz, and we're dealing specifically with Tyler in this particular episode about his dark arts. Yes, this is where you use tactics in dating to manipulate the other person to get what you particularly want. This can be intentional or unintentional, but nonetheless, it's dark arts. If you haven't watched Love Island, then you're missing out. This is the UK version, and I'll give you a quick summary. Tyler was on Casa Amor, which is a separate little part of the island where they go away, and he met another girl whilst he was dating Kaz as well. And when he came back from Casa Amor, he brought another girl, and when he came back into the villa, he saw that Kaz had moved on with someone else, and he suddenly wanted her back. Mandem, I know we've been here before. Okay, you see your girl with another girl, and really and truly, you just want her because someone else has got them. But I want to talk about some of the dark arts that he does. But before we do, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of what? The uploads. We appreciate you. And for those of you who are returnees, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. Listen, stay hydrated. Why? Because of what? The streets are hot. Get your bottle down below. Listen, don't forget as well, today, send them back to the manufacturer because that's where Tyler needs to go, all right? But before we go a bit further, let me drop that outro. Little Black Book, you know what time it is. Boom. So, I want to talk to you about Tyler and his dark arts, all right? And the reason why I'm talking about Tyler's dark arts is I'm going to show you a clip from the show, okay? This is where he's talking to the lads, all right? And he starts to explain how he feels, okay? Now, when he begins to explain how he feels, I want you to notice something. If you haven't watched Love Island, you may not get it. On several occasions, this is just one, when he speaks to Kaz, when he speaks to Clarice, okay, he asks them a question and says, how would you handle it? And what I've noticed about him is he does not want to take accountability for his behavior. So one of the dark arts tactics that he uses, okay, we've put it up here for you, all right, is the asking question tactic, okay? This is where you continually ask your victims what they think, what they think with the intention of them answer. I put it wrong with them basically answering you, right? And this works best on passive victims. What this entails is this: when I ask you the question, oh, what would you do? A passive victim would say, I don't know. Right? And the I don't know is what's going to be used against you. This is why it's almost like being in a court of law. What you say will be used against you, ladies. So pay attention, okay? He asks this question, oh, what would you lads do, right? Because what's going to happen in the end is he's going to say, you know what, the guys influenced me. And it's already happened. Oh, the guys influenced me. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Or he would later on say to another girl, oh, but you know, she said X, Y, and Z. That's why I felt the way I did. Oh, he would tell another girl, oh, you know, that's what she said, so that's why X, Y, and Z. The answers that you're going to give are going to be what he's going to use to remove his accountability of what he's actually done wrong. So he asks these questions, what would you do, what would you do? And he's hoping for passive victims, which at the moment, both Clarice and both Kaz are showing passivity to this situation. Okay? When you're passive in the situation, he got you. Okay? Let's watch a bit of the clip and see what I'm talking about.
Mate, yesterday, I feel as though yesterday went well. You know, I finally got that chat out of the way with Kaz, and we're on a level now, you know. Where do you think I should...
Pause. I just want you to pay attention to what he's about to say now, right? He's about to ask the boy a question. I'm going to scoot it back just slightly, okay? Listen to the dark arts. He's just gonna ask the boys a question. Look what he's doing. Just listen.
You know, I finally got that chat out of the way with Kaz, and we're on a level now, you know. Where do you think I should stand on affection with both girls?
Sir, please. This is what I mean by dark arts. Why are you asking the boys, okay, what they think should be an acceptable level amount of, basically, right, affection for both girls? Let me tell you something very first of all. He knows exactly how much affection he should give. Number one, he does. Number two, here's the reason why he's asking this question. Not just for the tactic of asking questions to remove accountability. There's a second reason why. Okay? Men, okay, when they're moving mad, when they're behaving badly, look for validity in their actions. This is why men cannot hold each other accountable, because when men are playing around, they look for those who are going to say yes to their game. Yes to their moving mad. Yes to their evil ways. Yes to them playing girls. They look for that validity. When you're on your own and you ain't got no friends backing your play, men tend to change. Why? Because there's no validity. All right? Because part of this game is ego and pride, and the ego needs validating. Okay? All right? The ego needs validating. Let me play my little clip. Do you know what? I did a little clip for you guys. You know what I'm saying? My dark arts clip. Yeah? Since we're talking about dark arts, we're talking about this dark art stuff, all right? So he's now literally asking the boys because he wants validation, right? And by the men becoming passive, they're actually validating him. Listen to what happens next.
Kissing, touching, that sort of thing. So do you think that's appropriate with Clarice to start with?
That's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
What's big about the question? There is no big question. And Hugo has learnt. I want to let you know something about why in this world men get away with what they do. Because men want to fit in. Okay? The moment I talk against men, okay, men will turn around and counsel you from the group. Counsel you from the group, all right? Because part of the men's atmosphere or group oftentimes, right, is when we're behaving toxic, you don't talk against us, okay? You agree with the behavior. Whether you agree outwardly, whether you agree inwardly is totally different, but outwardly you can agree. Okay, outwardly show that you are part of the group. This is the toxicity of men, okay? And this is why it's important also at the same time for men to behave well, because when they behave well, other men will follow that lead too. Whoever leads the group, if they lead in badness, the group will follow that badness. If they lead well, the men will follow in that particular good spectrum too, because what's happening is that leader is setting the pace for the rest of the pack, which is where the alpha male situation comes in. It's not just alpha male, it's technically those who lead a social group will oftentimes have enough power to condition other men to move in the same direction. Okay, now listen to Hugo again.
You got to do what you got to do. I mean, I wouldn't be doing a lot of PDA if the other one was literally.
Yeah.
Now notice here, Hugo is saying I wouldn't necessarily do, PDA, in front of the other girl. He's changed his tone. It wasn't long ago he was talking about Toby moving mad and treating Chloe badly, but you are now accepting that. Old boy Tyler should have an opportunity to show affection to both women. By the way, we've passed the whole getting to know you stage, okay? That was in the beginning of the show. We don't have that opportunity anymore. You need to know what you're coming in for, okay? To come in and give affection to both women when clearly he chose Clarice from Casa Amor. That was your choice. But you've suddenly gone back, right? So this is where the dark arts start kicking in, because when men decide, when men see their woman suddenly moving on now, okay, what is happening is this is a type of possession. Okay, when I talk about this, what I mean by this, men and women have this capability, right? When they're not really in love, but they're in this possessive area, when you want control, right? Because you're not, in those moments, we all have this capacity to want to have control and power, right? When we want control and power, what we do is we do things like what Tyler's going to do, right? I'm going to play both girls. I want to be able to see where I'm going with them. No, just make a choice. But he doesn't want to make a choice because he's getting a lot of ego feeding from both women and them being in limbo. Okay, now Kaz at the end of the show kind of removes the power from him by making a decision for him. That is what you're supposed to do. Ladies, you're supposed to make a decision. When he says, give me a bit of time, I'm trying to figure this out, you say, thank you, you've had enough time, I'm going. Why? Because he's going to continue moving mad. If he couldn't decide now, he will not decide then. If he could not decide now, He's not going to decide then. Men are very decisive when they need to be. When they don't want to be, they're not going to be. If he don't want you then, if he doesn't want you now, he doesn't want you then. Don't get it into your head. You can twist him and move him and shake him. Oh, I know my grandparents. And some of you come with the maddest stories every single time to give excuses to things that are, I would say, anomalies in the rules. Stop doing this, woman. It's frustrating because sometimes you watch it like, why are you trying to make an anomaly? Yes, your dad and mum were the ones that anomalies. Have you heard any other stories? No. So it's not validated. Stop trying to change these men. They didn't want you then. Okay? They don't want you now. They don't want you then. Okay? They don't want you in the future. Okay? Right? Let's listen to this.
Of course, yeah.
Like across the room, if that makes sense.
What you haven't factored in is a PDA between Kaz and Matt.
See, yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. I wouldn't like to see it.
Now, here's the thing. If he truly liked Kaz, his reasoning, okay, for why he feels some type of way about the situation at the moment would be because he feels a way, he likes her, he cares for her, and he realizes he fancies her, right? But if you actually hear his reasoning, okay, as to why he actually wants Kaz back, it's got nothing to do with Kaz. Let's just have this. It's got nothing to do with Kaz. Yeah, he's got good banter with her. Yes, they get along better. But it's got nothing to do with Kaz, which is why I played the original clip. It's got nothing to do with Kaz, really. Okay? This is what we talk about, the dark arts. This is what we mean. Okay? What we mean by that is they don't really care about you. All I gotta say is they don't really care about us. They don't care about you. Now listen to this. I want you to pay attention to what he's gonna say.
Has rattled me.
Why has it rattled you?
I didn't think they were like that. Must be much deeper than that. It has to be deeper than that.
Now, I played this clip because I want you to understand something, right? And I'll give you context as to what's happened. He's saying when he sees Kaz and Matt, her and the other guy, he's like, wait, I didn't think their relationship was that deep, like blah, blah, blah. Here's why I'm going to mention this, right? When he left for Casa Amor, him and Kaz had an agreement. They knew that they were liking each other. They were moving forward, right? They seemed solid. Went to Casa Amor, got with a girl that didn't actually really want him. She wanted Teddy, okay? Got with a girl, brought her back over, saw that his girl was no longer waiting for him, but had moved on. And suddenly, now, he's like, Kaz has got the personality that I want. Kaz is 60-40 now. Blah, blah, blah. I'm now getting my head spun. Yeah, your head spun because your ego is bruised. This is the dark arts. I want to make sure you understand this about men. This is the ego playing its game. What is the ego here? The ego is this: control. Control and power. When you left, you made a decision to choose another girl. That was your control and power. When you came back, you expected her to be single. I'll tell you why. Because men oftentimes believe that women can't do what men do. And when women do what men do, we then hit them, okay, with our patriarchy saying women are slags, women are hoes, they shouldn't be doing this, she shouldn't be doing that, she's a fast mover, da-da-da-da-da-da. We have so many different conversations and labels that we throw on them in order to stop them doing what men do, right? Not just because it's worse for women to do what they do, but because what it does, it keeps the hierarchy in place. White people do the same thing to black people all the time. The moment we do what they do, black people, we get labeled aggressive. If we do anything that's negative, anything that could be seen as negative, we get labeled as negative. We get aggressive, or we are always playing a race card, or we're always complaining. When we're trying to explain things that are happening to us, they label us with something else. Right? Because what it does, it keeps a chasm between me and you and keeps the illusion of power and control. So what he says there in that moment is that, I didn't realize the relationship was that deep. Why? Because when I thought I was coming back and I saw that she was having a little thing with Matthew, I got a little bit of a tinge in me. I got my ego flustered and I thought I could win her back again because I thought she was that type of girl. I thought I could just have her again because I thought she was that type of girl. But what he encountered was someone who said, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. Right? I'm not going to have it. Right? To the point where he said, actually, he thought, he said, obviously, Kaz for him is 60-40. I hear that. I want to show you another clip about this asking thing, right? But I would play a little bit of this one.
you may need to reassess whether or not it's annoying you because it's just a bit of jealousy, or it's actually annoying you because you could be doing the same thing with Clarice.
He's not getting frustrated because he can do the same thing with Clarice. Okay, he's annoyed because like his jealousy, right? Because he thought he had Kaz in a pocket. And don't worry, listen, I'm gonna deal with Kaz because she got some smoke for this week as well, okay? But it's only because you guys asked me to do the video, so I had to watch it now, right? And break it down, right? So I'm gonna go to another clip, okay? I'm gonna go to another clip, and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about when I say about this original tactic. Now, you know what I said about this tactic, okay? Let me bring the thing up on the screen, okay? All right, asking question tactic, right? Now you just seen him ask the boys. Okay, I'm bringing another clip to you. He's gonna ask Clarice now.
How would you go about it then? If you was in my shoes, how would you go about it? Would you pick one, or what do you mean?
Yeah, kind of. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't act like that, but
that is the passivity I'm talking about. Do you see that? Do you see the passivity I'm talking about? She said, maybe I would. There was no definitive. She said something. She was going somewhere, and then she became passive again because she didn't want to seem like she's being too needy or too like being, but she actually needs to and say, hey, look, you know, can I just be honest with you? You brought me back from Casa Amor. I thought you actually wanted me. Listen, make a choice. There's no beef here. Like, make a choice. But maybe because it's part of it is a game and people want to stay on the show, if she says make a choice, it can push her towards Kaz. That means she might not be on the show for next week. I get that working, right? But in real life, this also happens. People put themselves in situations or allow themselves to be in situations where the question is being asked of you. You can see the guy is playing two of you. Why would you want to stay? Passivity, right? And this comes from the fact that when you've been through certain situations, you gain a strength normally and a courage to say, that's not me anymore. I'm not going to have it, which is what Kaz picked up at the very end, right? Clarice hasn't done that in this particular situation, although she's getting a little bit annoyed, but she didn't do it in this instance. She asked her a question, and she kind of started it by saying, oh, you know, I would choose a person, blah, blah. And in the end, she said, I don't know. You do know. And in your passivity, you're going to die. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard me always say it. PEW. Okay? Position, expectation, wants. When you have a position, I like you, you state your expectation. And then when they say what they want in reply to your expectation, if it doesn't meet, you walk away like Craig David. Yeah? You walk away like Craig David. We don't stay in that situation. Okay? We don't stay in it, right? Listen to a bit more.
I'm trying to explain it and I'm trying to go with it as best I can. I'm trying to be respectful to all parties as best I can.
yeah.
You see, she's saying yeah, but her face is saying no. Her face is saying yeah, but no, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's saying, her face is saying, her words were yeah, I hear you, but her face was saying no, because she knew exactly what she was hearing was nonsense. But if you don't say anything, if you don't say anything, you're consenting. In your silence, you consent to the behavior. Okay? That's why it's good to be verbal. Let the person know, hey, that's not for me. I'm sorry. It's not for me. We got to choose our timing right, but we say it. Hey, this is not for me. I'm going to be very honest with you. Yeah? Okay? I'll show you another clip to show you what I'm talking about in terms of his behavior, right? Okay? I'll already just show you that clip. I want to show you the Kaz one. Okay, I'll get it for you guys in a second. I'll get you the Kaz. It's just there. I'm going to show you the Kaz conversation, right? Where he ends up talking about asking the same question, what would you do in my shoes, right? And so it's like he's got a continuous pattern of bad boy behavior. There's another thing I want to produce to you guys. I want to show you guys as well, which I'm going to tell you, right? This is the good boy facade, okay? The good boy facade or facade, whatever you want to pronounce it as. Do not watch my English, okay? A man who hides behind the veil of I'm a good guy making mistakes, when really they're just as bad as the bad guys, okay? Listen, there are double agents in this field, okay? I probably should have called it the double agent, right? Pretending to be a good guy when really you are a bad guy. And you hide behind, I'm a good guy, just trying to figure it out, trying to get it all together. You ain't. You're just as bad as the bad guys because your behavior is just as destructive, right? You not making a choice, okay, right, in a situation. When you made a choice, you brought another girl into a situation. That is a choice. Nobody asked you to go and get another woman, Tyler. You went and got it and you brought her in, right? This is what I'm saying about
The arts.
Is the dark arts, because whenever you try to shift the blame when you are the one that's actually done the action, then you're beginning to enter into these dark arts of manipulation to try and get yourself out of a situation. Okay, let's watch a little bit more of the clip. I'm gonna bring you into their conversation a little bit, right? Okay, listen to this. Watch body language too, right? Okay, look at the body language here. How he's facing her, right? Because by in a minute's time, his body language is going to shift. Right now, he's trying to soothe her and bring her back on side, right? He wants to get her to play ball in a sense, right? And so he's having these conversations with Kaz to try and get her to see his side of things. Let's play a little bit more look at it.
Yeah.
Just to see where your head was at as well, and what's going on with you and Matt. Just to see if I'm almost wasting my time.
Excuse me? How has he flipped the script to a point where he's now saying, I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time? Sir, who told you to go and get another girl and bring her into the villa and then get confused as to who you want to choose? And now you want to flip it. I don't want to say this gaslighting. I want to say more of a case of, it probably is gaslighting, but he's trying to flip the script completely by trying to put the onus on you. It's a very clever, and this is what I'm saying. It gets to a point where you realize this is not unintentional. It's part of it. He may not know every move he's made, right, and break it down. This is the moves he's made, but this is part of the dark arts movement, right, where I'm now flipping the script onto you that you're the problem. For instance, like, let me give you an example of what I mean by this, right? Flipping the script. You may, let's say for instance, right, yeah, you've tried to contact me 3 times, right? And I've contacted you just once, right? And on the 3 occasions you missed me, right? And on 1 occasion I called you back, but I missed you. On the 4th occasion when we start talking, you're like, listen, I've been trying to get a hold of you because we know we needed to speak, we needed to talk, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to flip it on you. But you know, I called you that one time and you didn't pick up your phone. That's why you always do that. I'm always having to try and call you and you always flip the script. I guess that's gaslighting. You're flipping the script in that moment because you know exactly the onus wasn't on that other person. They've called you 3 times. You tried to call once. And even that once that you did, you quickly dial for 2 seconds and ended the call. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew exactly what you were trying to do, which is trying to remove the accountability from you so that you don't look like the bad guy, right? Because what men don't like is 2 things, a bad name and a bad rep, okay? When you're a bad guy, you actually haven't got a bad rep per se, right? When you genuinely are a bad guy, you haven't got a bad rep. What you have is a villain's rep. And villains are celebrated just as much as heroes. Okay? In the dating world, if that guy's got good slinging D, okay, but he's a villain, girls will still go after him. Okay, because so long as he's identified as a bad guy, women want to date these guys because they're broken and hurt themselves, and sometimes it's just fun to ride the roller coaster for a short while. But when you're a good guy posing as a bad guy, the benefits aren't the same. Here's why: you've got a conscience. And your mind doesn't work in that way because you're not generally a bad guy. You are a good guy behaving badly, but you're hiding behind the veil of a good guy. See, the bad guy just doesn't tell you. The bad guy doesn't tell you I'm a good guy. The bad guy comes in like I'm a bad guy. You know exactly what you're getting. Okay? I'm from the streets. You know what you're getting. Okay? Listen, don't forget as well, grab your bottle down below. Stay hydrated, you understand? Because the streets are hot. You know exactly what you're getting, ladies, right? But with the good guy, the person playing the good guy but really hides behind a veil and really is a bad guy is even more dangerous because you never saw it coming. At least with the bad guy, you know you entered and it was your fault. But the good guy has lied to you and acted out to you. And that is more scary because now you can't trust even another guy that's good because you don't know if he's actually acting or he's being real. When it's a bad guy, the trauma is much less. And I say trauma is less in the sense of being able to trust your own compass because you already know, hey, I already knew when I jumped into it, he was a bad guy. I knew it, they told me, da-da-da. But with this good guy, supposedly, he was playing on playing on the fact that he was a good guy, when really he's just the devil in disguise, a wolf in sheep's clothing, all right? And that is what Tyler's becoming. And Tyler, Toby, they are these good guys who are really wolves in sheep's clothing, Okay, they're not good guys. They just don't come as the appearance of the devil or the bad guy energy. They don't come with, because really and truly, they're not outright bad guys, but they're people who take advantage. They're manipulators of scenarios and situations. Okay, all right. That is why I put that quote up there. Okay, all right, about the good boy for Kate. It's scarier because you think that you've got a good guy and really he is a bad guy, and now you can't trust your judgment in future. Let's watch a little bit more of the clip, okay?
You don't know if you're wasting your time.
If you guys get on and are that close, that's completely fine, because you still have to get to know the guy. But now I feel as though I owe it to myself to actually ask you.
But I'm not going.
Let me break down what's happened here, okay? I'm going to play it back in a second, right? It's really key what he does here, okay? I want you to understand, women, what just happened here. It's a very clever move he did, right? He threw out bait, and you don't realize. Just listen to this.
Wasting my time?
You don't know if you're wasting your time.
If you guys get on and are that close, that's completely fine, because you still have to get to know the guy. But now...
Pause. Now, when he says, if you guys are that close and you have to continue getting to know the guy, what she says next is going to be very important, what she does. If I say to you, well, if you like the guy, then you should, go with him, innit? Do you know what I'm saying, right? If you don't then go, I now know you don't really like the guy. And now I've got you. If you don't move at that point and say, you're absolutely right, I do actually like him, so this conversation, there's no longer to talk about it, I gotta go, right? You are now giving me room to enter from the shadows, because what you're not saying is you don't want me no more. This is one of those baited questions we throw out there. Oh, if you loved your man, you wouldn't be talking to me. Now, when I say that to you, you should end the call. If I say to me, if you really loved your man, you wouldn't be talking to me. If you were really on it, you wouldn't be talking to me. If you were really feeling Matthew, you wouldn't really be talking to me, Kaz. If you don't then leave the conversation right there and then, you've confirmed what I thought. All right, you don't really like Matthew that well, and now what you've given me is a green light to enter on a dark shadow thing. It's the dark arts. Okay, it's the dark arts. Open your eyes.
Now I feel as though I owe it to myself to actually ask you.
But I'm not going to wait around.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to sit there and wait for you to make a decision.
And Kaz did well here. Okay, she shut it down in a sense by saying, I'm not going to wait around for you to come with a choice and stuff, like get it together or like keep it moving. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I know what I want, etc., right? Well, she hasn't said she wanted Matthew though, by the way. So this, even though she shuts down this conversation can happen in a day's time, because you have actually shut nothing down. You just said, I'm not going to let you play me. I hear that, but you need to shut it all the way down. Or I'm going to come back next week.
My head is so scrambled, I can't really give you a concrete answer right now. That's what I'm saying.
If your head is scrambled, why are we chatting? You don't know what you want. And in that situation, and Kaz is going to point this out really, really greatly as well. If you don't know what you want, why are you trying to get me to straddle the fence? Why are you trying to get me to hold on? Why are you trying to get me to hold on? And the reason being, again, is because of power and control. We do this as human beings, okay? Trying to hold her in limbo to have her whenever you want to. And you want a situation between the two girls where they compete for you? No siree. No siree. Okay? All right? You don't get to do that. Yeah, you don't get to do that. All right? Head scramble. Watch his body language now, shit.
Give me a little bit of time just so I can just get things straight in my head. Like, it's undeniable how I feel about you, yeah?
Her face is killing it. Her face was basically saying, are you mad or are you mad? Are you maddy lean, cuz? What the heck? Right? And she's right to think that, right? Now watch the body language.
I have a question. How can your feelings for someone be undeniable? Undeniable means you can't deny it.
Look how does this look like a man that wants you? No. Let's keep it 100% real. Does this look like a man that really wants you? Look at his face. Look again, watch. Does this look like a man that wants you? He's frustrated because he can't win you. He's frustrated because he can't do you over. He's not frustrated at the moment because you're not listening. He's frustrated because at the moment, Kaz is giving him back 2 2s, right? So women, I want you to pay attention. Kaz did a great job this episode, right? Look how he's trying to, look at how he's frustrated because he wants to win her over. He don't want her. He just wants the ability to be able to do it. He just wants to be able to say, I can do this. He wants the ability to know that. He wants the ability to say, I have her whenever I want to.
So it's undeniable how I feel about you, but it's not quite good enough because I want to go over there. That's what I'm.
And it's funny because if you watch the way Faye and Teddy were talking, when Faye was trying to pull it on Teddy countered and he said, listen, no, it's not like that. But when you watch his body language, he never slumped to the side like that. He never looked like, oh, for freak's sake. He never looked like that because what he wanted was her. The truth of the matter is, Tyler don't want Kaz. Okay? He wants what she symbolizes. Some of you, the man loves the idea of you. He doesn't love you. He loves the idea of you. Okay? And you need to deep it. All right? When a man's telling you, I've got to make a choice between 2 of you, if someone has to make a choice between 2 of you, tell him, c'est la vie. I appreciate you, my G. Thank you for giving me your answer. That is an answer. Because he shouldn't be choosing between you and someone else.
Hearing.
But that's totally separate.
But that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, and I get that, but it's totally separate.
It's the same thing.
It's totally separate.
How is it separate?
It's totally separate, Kaz.
It's a done off thing. You know, it's a done off thing. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Okay, these are the part of these dark art stuff. You know, yeah, man, they're moving mad. Yeah. Oh, I've got a little sign on my face. Man, they're moving mad, right? And Tyler's one of those men that are moving mad. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, ladies, pay attention. Okay, state your position, expectation, wants. What do you want? What is your expectation of this man? Let him stay and let him speak and say what his wants are. If his wants are not meeting your expectations, it's time to go. Okay? All right? So listen, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads as well. We appreciate you guys. Here's a little outro and we'll see you next time.
You know what time